What's up, y'all? Let's do this.
Oh, hi guys, welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host, and today we gotta talk about this William Thomas character, man. This dude clearly, man, he's clearly a creep and basically a sexual pervert because what he's doing. But we gotta talk about this, man. I gotta put in my $2 worth here. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, please consider donating a cup of coffee because, seriously, guys, for a price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories and more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations. I'm also on Locals, guys, if you guys want to sponsor and support this podcast show. If you guys love Nikki's World so much, please hit that like, subscribe, please give me a review, good, bad, and the ugly. And before we get this show on the road, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today. Woo! Okay, guys, got all the formalities. I'm on the way to work. I'm on I-84 right now. And yes, we are having a pending blizzard tomorrow, so it is going to be interesting to say the least. So, yeah, it is going to be interesting, you know. But today, guys, I saw two articles that came across my RSS feed and came across my alternative social media platforms. And one comes from the Daily Mail, and one comes from the New York Post, and it's about this, William, a.k.a. air quotes, Leah Thomas, who is a dude who claims to be a biological girl. For some reason, this dude is making women uncomfortable in the women's bathroom, in the women's locker room, by parading his penis and being uncovered. I mean, how in the fuck does the university allow this? Or for that matter, how in the fuck does the left allow this? How? I want to know. How are they okay with letting a dude who has XY male chromosome and a male penis in the women's locker room to undress and parade around buck naked in there? How are they okay with this? That's all I want to know. How are you okay with this? Are you okay with your mother being in the bathroom with a dude who clearly looks like a dude, has a 6-inch penis, but claims to identify as a woman be allowed to be naked in the bathroom or locker room with your mother, your sister, or your daughter? How are you okay with this? That's all I want to know. How are you on the left okay with this? It seems like these leftists are all like, oh, this is progressive. This is tolerance. This is more like being open, progressive, tolerant of these people. No, dude. This is letting a sexual predator, a creep, walk in there and doing this under the guise of transgenderism or liberalism. This, in my opinion, is criminal. It's criminal no matter how you fucking call it. I don't care if you call it, oh, progressivism, tolerance. Oh, we have to be accepting of these people. No, we don't, dude. We do not have to be accepting of this whatsoever. In fact, society never agreed to this. Society never signed on to this. In fact, I didn't even sign on to this. I didn't even agree to this. So how the fuck are you going to say, oh, society agreed to this. Society accepted this. How are you going to say that? That's fucked up. That is really, really fucked up right there. And the women on the University of Pennsylvania swim team, they're uncomfortable in having to undress next to a guy who claims to be a girl and has a 6-inch dick being shown out in the open. How is the left okay with this? I want to know, is the left okay with their mother being in the bathroom with a guy who claims to be a girl and has a 6-inch dick? I don't know, man. This is why I used to tolerate stuff like this, but then I sit there and I just go like this. Nah, man. That's where I have to put my foot down. I'm okay with, I'm super accepting of gay people, lesbians, and bisexuals, but when it comes to the transgender community or the trans cult, nah, man, that's where I have to put my foot down, because some of these people in the transgender community and the trans cult are basically male fetish guys who are using the transgender community as cover to hate on women, to abuse women, or to steal all the hard work that biological women have done. This is where I sit there and I go, nah, man, I'm not cool with that. I just gotta say, nah, man, I'm cool if you're gay, lesbian, and bi. I'm cool with that. But if you're trans and you try to say, oh, I'm a biological girl, you're supposed to call me like that, I'm gonna just say, nope, I didn't sign up for this shit. I didn't give my permission to partake this shit. No, thank you. This is where society has gone wrong. This is where society has gone off the fucking deep end here. Society has literally lost its ever-loving fucking mind. Clearly. How the fuck are the parents of these girls that are on the University of Pennsylvania swim team okay with this? Trust me, if I was a parent of one of these girls, I'd be pulling them off. I'd be pulling them out of the school within 5 seconds. And then I'd be getting a lawyer and saying, nope, I want to sue this school right out of the country. This is why we need to just put our foot down as a society and say, no more. No, we are not allowing biological boys who claim to be girls to be able to compete in women's sports. No. If they want to compete in sports, then you create an open division. You create a co-ed division. It's as simple as that. You create a co-ed division that is separate but also equal, which means it's like this. Women get to have their own sport. Men get to have their own sport. Trans, gender queers, or whatever, or those who don't feel comfortable competing with men and women can compete in an open division. It's as simple as that. But no, these male trans or these trans want to sit there and say, no, that's not right. I want to compete with women. And if you don't let me, I'm going to do this and this. You know what? It's just these dudes having a fucking temper tantrum. These dudes think that they can run roughshod around the world. It's these dudes who think that they can do whatever they want. But I sit there and I say like this, oh no, you fucking can't, and oh no, you fucking won't. Because you know why? These dudes are nothing but male, violent dudes who have a hatred for women because they couldn't even, get near one, or couldn't even sleep with one. That's why these dudes claim to be women and they claim to be lesbians, so they think that they can get easy access to them. This is why I side with the women and with the radical feminists on this one. These so-called trans women, which are basically biological men who claim to be women, they're not women. I don't care what you call yourself, what legal nonsense you use. At the end of the motherfucking day, biology, DNA is gonna win in the end. You can call yourself whatever the fuck you want, but at the end of the day, your DNA, your physiology, your biology, your chemistry that says it all. You can't even change your DNA no matter how motherfucking hard you try. I'm sorry. That's biology. That's science. And it's kind of funny how these leftists are all saying, oh, you have to believe in science. You have to have faith in science. Yeah, and these are the same people that say, oh, they believe in science when it comes to the cult of COVID, the Branch Covidians and all that shit. But when it comes to like sex, gender, and all that shit, they go, oh, whatever they say, we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go whatever science. Okay, what science? Show me a medical school professor. Show me a textbook that says that a dude could be a girl and a girl could be a dude. They can't. They can't. For the life of me, they can't. They can try all they want. And this is why it's like this. If I were the women of the University of Pennsylvania swim team, I would go change. If I had to go change my swimsuit, I would go change in the men's locker room. Make the men feel uncomfortable. As soon as the men start feeling uncomfortable about it, school will probably have to put their foot down and say to William, air quotes, Leah Thomas, say, nope, you go change in the men's locker room. Period. I ain't the one that want to get sued over this shit. And I agree. You know what I mean? I totally agree. This is why, guys, This is why I wholeheartedly think like this. The women should put their foot down. The women should put their money where their fucking mouth is and get a lawyer and sue the school for violating their rights. I would sue the school royally. If I were their lawyer, I'd be like this. We're going to be filing so many lawsuits on this school. By the time they're done, they're going to have to kick that dude off the women's team and say, no, you got to go to a co-ed team. We can't deal with the litany of lawsuits from these girls. This is why, guys. This is why it's like this. People are starting to get what the radical feminists have called peak trans. They're starting to wake up and see what these troons and what these dudes are doing. They literally are. They're starting to wake up and smell the goddamn motherfucking coffee and seeing what these so-called dudes are really doing. And what these so-called dudes are doing is beyond disgusting. Literally, man. Why is it? And this is my question to the University of Pennsylvania and the University of Pennsylvania women's swim team. Why is it that you don't force this William Thomas to change in the men's locker room or have a family locker room set up for him? Why? Why are they making it uncomfortable for women when they're catering hand over fist to this dude? Why? That's all I want to know. Because it seems like on college campuses or on women's sports teams, their rights don't matter when it comes to a biological male who claims and identifies as a girl, even though he looks clearly male, and when you do a DNA blood test, is clearly male. Why? That's all we want to know. That's all we ever want to fucking know. Why? I mean, look at it this way. And if you want to take a good example, for me, as an intersex person, I know most places will never let me use the women's bathrooms because I don't look like a biological girl. And I know biological guys will not be comfortable with someone who is not man enough according to society's standards. So oftentimes, I go to places where they have family locker rooms that are suited for people like me, and which is open to both sexes or genders, and it's a happy medium. The one thing I've noticed is the only reason why these so-called trans, or I can't say like trans women, but these so-called troons, aka male-identified trans, the reason why these so-called male-identified trans want to go into women's locker rooms and women's bathrooms and strip and change and openly parade their male dick, it's because of one thing, and one thing only. It's because of validation. They want society to validate and partake in their fetish, in their kink, when we didn't even sign up for it in the first place. It's funny. It's funny how these trans-identified males and these trans-identified females want to force everyone in society to partake in their fetish, in their kink, when we did not sign the documents for it, when we did not sign the paperwork for it. Show me a paper that said that I signed to partake in your fetish, in your kink. I did. Nobody in this planet signed up for it. The problem here, guys, the problem here is like this. You have these trans activists and these trans cultists who want to push their cult fetish, their kink onto people and say, oh no, you got to call this person a female. You got to call this person a male. No, we're going to call you what we see in front of you, which means it's a dude. It's a dude. No matter what you dress up in, what you call yourself in, it's a dude. I'm sorry. That is reality right there. And these are the people that, I hate to say this, hate reality. They hate the real world. Because the real world doesn't sync with their fetish, their kink, their delusion, or what they think the world is. But this is why, guys, in many cases, when I go swimming at my local YMCA, even though they allow me to use the women's locker room to get changed, to go swimming, or to work out in the gym, I politely refuse, because I go like this. Unless the women are okay with me being there, I will go in there. But if they are not and they are uncomfortable, I will say like this. I will go use the family locker room just so we can keep things kosher and happy. Apparently, William Thomas is not doing that. Apparently, he's not. It's because he's pushing his creepy fetish, his creepy kink onto women. And furthermore, if an ordinary dude did that in a women's locker room, he would be arrested for sexual assault and indecent exposure. Makes me wonder as I'm driving, how is the school allowing this dude to get away with it? How the fuck? If any other dude did this, he'd be hauled out of that locker room in handcuffs and being thrown in prison for sexual assault, and more than likely have to register as a sex offender for the rest of their natural life. But if he says, oh, I'm trans, they'd be like, oh, never mind. How the fuck did society allow this to happen? How the fuck? This is why I'm dead set against allowing trans to compete in women's sports. Because they have a biological unfair advantage. I don't care how much you suppress your hormones, how much you do this and this and this to it. No amount of biology, no amount of science is ever going to suppress your chromosomes, whether it's your Y or your X. No amount. But these troons and these trans cultists seem to think, oh yeah, we can suppress it. We can suppress enough to compete. Bull fuck shit. I'll say this in simple terms. Bullshit. Okay? Bullshit. Because you know why? Ain't gonna happen. science ain't there. The biology ain't there. I mean, they may think it's there, but reality is, we ain't near Star Wars and Star Trek technology yet, okay? We're not at that level at the moment, okay? I mean, they may think we're there now, but nah, we're not. I'll get the reality. You'll have to wait till the 22nd or the 23rd century for us to see it. But until then, I'm sorry, they're still dudes, no matter what you say. And no amount of surgery and hormones is ever going to erase their XY male chromosome. And then vice versa for women who think they identify as dudes. Okay? But, like I said, that's just pure fantasy right there. That is pure bullshit, you know? But like I said, this William Thomas dude, and yes, I am using his legally biological male name because he still has a male penis, and as a result, he is still male. So I don't care what you say by saying, oh, you should call her by her preferred name. No, I will call him by his legal name, by what he puts on his legal documents and what his biology says it is. You don't like it? Tough fucking shit, okay? You don't get to escape biology no matter how hard you try. You can try all you want, but I say this, at the end of the day, Mother Nature wins. She holds all the cards, and she wins regardless of whether you like it or not. She will beat the living crap out of y'all. It's as simple as that. So that's why, guys, I say this, man. What William quotes, air quotes, which like Leah Thomas did. If any guy did what this dude did to the University of Pennsylvania women's swim team, he'd be hauled off in handcuffs and going to prison by now. He'd be looking at like 10 to 15 years, and then after being listed as a sex offender for the rest of his life. Pretty much. But if he says he's trans, oh, the left, the progressives, the communists would give him a pass. They would help him, get through everything, and then throw the women under the bus just to keep him happy. Pretty much. That's pretty much what's going on. I don't know why society doesn't stand up and say, no, we're not going to allow this. We're not going to cater this. We are not okay with this. We are not going to accept this. I don't know why. Because I believe like this. The only reason why they're not okay, they don't want to say it out loud, because they don't want to be branded as a bigot or transphobic. Bull fuck shit. Oh, fuck shit. I don't care if the left calls me a bigot or transphobic. I go like this. I laugh at them in the face. I go, yeah, whatever, dude. Yeah, whatever. Whatever, dude. You think words are gonna like make me scared, make me cry over and all this shit? I go like this. Words mean shit to me in my generation. Words mean nothing. My generation's more of action and do. what you do is more important than what you say. Pretty much, guys. Pretty much. That's why I grew up in the 80s and 90s where our generation was more of what you do is more important than what you say. You can talk all you want. You can talk the talk all you want. But unless we see movement in action, we're going to be like, yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. You talk too much. You're talking shit. You're talking nonsense. You're just full of yourself. Pretty much. Pretty much. But I'll say this. I'll say this, guys. I'll say this. That William Thomas dude, these women should boycott the sport. Should walk off and say, nope, we're not competing against a dude who thinks he's a girl. I'm sorry, we're not competing. Unless they want to compete in their own division, sure, we'll accommodate that. We'll just say like this. They're going to compete in an open division, and their records at these events will not be counted. It'll only the biological women who have XX will be counted. And this is why, guys, we should mandate genetic testing. We should mandate DNA testing. I go like this. If the left wants to mandate COVID testing, then let's mandate DNA testing. Let's mandate genetic testing for anyone who wants to compete in women's sports. If some dude who claims to be a girl wants to compete in women's sports, you'll have to show proof on a DNA test. You'll have to show a DNA karyotype that you are a biological female, that you have XX chromosome. You'll have to show that. But if you don't show that, then I'm sorry, you can't compete because you're a dude who claims to be a girl. You don't have XX chromosome, but we will let you compete in an open co-ed division, which will be a subdivision or a separate division. Simple as that. If they don't like it, I tell them like this. You can go fucking pound sand for all I care. Simple as that. But clearly, guys, the main gist and the points of this article, and both of these articles that I'm going to be putting in the links in the description below, is that what William Thomas is doing to these biological women on the University of Pennsylvania women's swim team is criminal. It's criminal no matter how you call it, no matter how you slice it, because it's basically downright criminal. Because I'll tell you this: if any other biological dude did what this dude who thinks he's a girl is doing, they'd be fucking being thrown in prison by now. They would be in front of a judge pleading with their life, knowing that they would be thrown in prison for the next 10 or 15 years, and then having to be placed on a sex offender registry for the rest of their natural life. That's the reality. That's reality right there. That's hardcore reality. No matter how you slice it. No matter how you motherfucking call it. But you know what? I guess under this woke, progressive, liberal, socialist, communist, Democrat mantra, I guess if you're a dude who has XY chromosome and a 6-inch male dick, and you claim to be a woman, they give a pass. But you know what's funny? You know what's kind of funny? Many of these so-called trans cultists or gender queers or non-binaries and all that shit can't even define what a woman is. And they want to appropriate it and they want to turn it into a costume. They can't identify something that they cannot basically define. It's like, how do these people walk the planet? And my question is, what alien race dumped their idiots on this planet? Because I want to know, so that way, if we ever see them again, I can bitch slap them across the galaxy. I want to know, man. It's funny how these troons or these trans cultists say, "Oh, I'm a woman. But can you define what a woman is? They can't. They simply can't. And I sit there and I go, I go at this, Buddha, God, Jesus, or whatever, take the wheel. I need a vacation. I need to get away from these idiots. Maybe that galaxy, maybe that next galaxy or the next Milky Way is probably more saner than this. Like I said, guys, man. What this dude is doing to these women is criminal. It's basically criminal to the 10th degree. But because of the woke progressive left, they're given a pass by saying, "Oh no, it's tolerance, it's inclusive, it's being diverse." Yeah, at what expense? At whose expense? At who are we being diverse and inclusive towards? At what expense are we doing this? Seems to me they can't come up with a clear explanation to it. They can't. They simply can't. And this is why, guys, as an intersex person, this is why when I look at the transgender cult, I just go, nah, dude. You're not a girl no matter how much you call yourself. For that matter, you ain't even intersex no matter how much you claim. I don't care if you say it, but unless you show me a DNA karyotype, nah, dude. This is why, guys. This is why I sit there and I go like this. The woke left is off its rockers. It basically, guys, they're insane. They're nuts. Dude, you're crazy. You're crazy if you're gonna allow a dude who thinks he's a girl to swim and compete in the women's swim team and then steal all the hard work and gains that they made. Yeah, this is why the woke left is insane. The woke left is off its rockers. They're off its ass on this one. They literally are. They literally are. Okay? So, anyway, guys, I'm about done with this topic. And because I'm here at Cumberland Farms and I need to get my cup of coffee before I head to work. But thanks for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I will see y'all soon. Bye for now.